Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Roll for Question, the stream where a veteran DM offers to answer any questions you might have about Dungeons and Dragons. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be working on some homebrew for a magic prison. This magic prison we worked on last time. We came up with a couple of creatures that I didn't name, and I'm not going to name. That is future me's responsibility. We also came up with a couple of magic items that are whatever. And what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna be cooking up ingredients for a dungeon. And by ingredients I mean like mechanics, traps, challenges, that kind of stuff. Ingredients that we can use to build out our prison as a proper dungeon for the party to explore, for the party to escape from, for the party to interact with. Okay, I'm going to put a horizontal line here. Dungeon elements. Prison elements. Dungeon in parentheses. Alright, we've got a palette from last time. I like this. I like these things. I'm going to keep this palette, but I'm also going to cook up a new palette. I've got a couple of things that I want to put down here. So I want to have... Did I write pressure rooms? I did. Okay. Pressure room puzzles. And I wrote dimensional instability, I think. Wards against dimensional instability. I'm going to say astral plane contamination. I know how to spell contamination. Let me think what else. I want to have two more elements here for specifically dungeon elements for a prison. I'm thinking like every room is going to have some amount of chains in it for restraining people in an emergency. But I don't want to just have like chains in the rooms. Hmm. Restraining fields, gels, forces, restraining forces. One more. Let me think. Brainstorm. What's a thing that a prison might have? Bars? Actually, that would be a better thing here. Just rooms have lots and lots of iron bars that are normally not engaged, but they do engage in cases of emergency, maybe. I don't know. Restraining bars. Put that there. We'll flesh it out in just a moment. We need one more thing. Light-based conduits, book-type batteries, pressure rooms, vents. just out of... Why does this look different from this? This is Arial. Somehow we switched from the Arial font to Lato font. This is normal text. Thank you. I'm gonna write ghosts. I don't know. That's what I got. So what I was thinking, and it occurs to me that I have kind of oh, excuse me. Jeez. I've kind of put my ideas in my palette, and that's not the best idea. It's better to put more vague things in your palette so that you can refer back to them when you are running low on inspiration. But what I'm thinking is having pressure room puzzles for sure, because we said pressure rooms last time. Pressure room puzzles. And I want to flesh that out a little more. So what I was thinking was that every group of rooms, like 2 to 4 rooms, is attached by pipes. Has pipes running to a local control room, pressure control room. Each the prison has many pressure control rooms distributed throughout the dungeon, and each room has a setting from 0 to 3. No. Let's keep it simple. It has a setting from has a left or right setting. Some rooms will become overpressurized if the they have a left or right lever, and some rooms will become overpressurized if the lever is set to left or right. Overpressurized rooms will self-seal, becoming inaccessible. Creatures that are inside of the rooms when they overpressurize will take damage each round. They will have a chance to escape the room before it seals. Okay, so like parts of the prison are overpressurized, and you cannot progress until you turn this lever, adjust the pressure. That will open the way in one direction, but it might seal off the way in another direction. And then at the certain parts of the dungeon, the prison, like the exit, are sealed off and can only be unsealed if a number of every pressure control room is adjusted is aligned. So every pressure control room needs to either be to the left or to the right. Otherwise, the exit is sealed off. You can't get out. So we can set it up so like half of the prison has it adjusted to the left, half of it has it adjusted to the right, and it's up to the party to figure out how they want to resolve that. Not a complicated puzzle, but a puzzle. Maybe depends on the map that we draw. If we draw a map. Why pressure? It's just I don't know. It's a demiplane. There's pressure. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Is there anything else we need to say about it? Okay. If a door is jammed, the overpressurization will fail, and the lever in the pressure control room will jam as well. Which means that the exit will be inaccessible. Okay, we can also add, there's going to be one room which contains large pressure tanks. These contain the air for the prison. If the party can find a way, endure the immense pressure within each within a tank, they can traverse the pipes to any control room they wish. If the tank is punctured, the room becomes overpressurized, which is likely to result in a TPK. All right, so we have the ideas of rooms for our prison now. There's the obvious ideas of like, we've got to have cells, we've got to have a cell block, we've got to have a guard post, we've got to have an exit, of course, we've got to have an armory and like a storage room. We've got those parts, but those are very pedestrian kind of things to run into. Not very adventurous. Now we have a pressure room. The adventurers can interact with them to change the prison, change the layout, change the accessibility of the prison. Now, as designed, some rooms of this prison are always going to be overpressurized, and that's just we just got to say that up front. This is done both for security reasons and for control. Ease of maintenance, to minimize the maintenance burdens of the pressure system in the prison. Okay. I wrote here astral plane contamination. So the idea is that the demiplane is damaged, and there are wards in place to sort of mitigate the damage. And those wards, A, are not in good shape, and B, can be tampered with to let the astral plane leak in. So let me just think for a second here. The parts of the prison have very thin dimensional walls due to the genesis of the prison. Just due to the nature of the demiplanes. The nature of the collision of the demiplanes. These walls have been reinforced with wards, but those wards are prone to failing and need a lot of maintenance. As such, parts of the prison may have partial or complete intrusion of the astral plane that people need to deal with. What does astral plane intrusion mean? It means that certain rooms in this prison behave like you're on the astral plane instead of being able to walk around and like eat things and all that. Some parts of this prison you are on the astral plane because it has leaked through, and there's no gravity. You can move around with your thoughts. You can't eat. I don't think time passes in the traditional sense. And there might be nasty things in the astral plane that you're subjected to, like a psychic winds, or maybe you can feel an astral dreadnought off in the distance that you have to deal with. Let's make this a mechanic that also, if a room is exposed to the astral plane, it can't be pressurized at all. The air just leaks out into the astral plane. It doesn't go anywhere. But first, we need to give ourselves a little bit of a mechanical knob that we can turn. Astral. Each room has an astral contamination value from 0 to 3. 0. No astral contamination. The room functions as normal. 1. Minor astral contamination. Gravity is at 75% normal. I don't know off the top of my head the mechanics for the astral plane, and I don't care to look it up, but I'm guessing that it's a case of like you can move with your movement speed is your intelligence score rounded up to the nearest 5. So like if your intelligence score is 8, it rounds up to 10. Creatures inside of this room add their intelligence score to their speed, rounded up to the nearest increment of 5. Major astral contamination. This room cannot be overpressurized. Gravity is at 25% normal. Creatures add their intelligence score to their speed, like the same as the previous level. In addition, creatures can moon jump to any location in the room. Within range of their speed. I think there's a better way to write this. Creatures can jump in the air as part of their movement. To a distance equal to their speed. Maybe there's an even better way to say this. People can high jump up to their speed. I think there's a race, the bunny race. They have text for being able to jump mechanically and what that means. I think it's like as a bonus action, jump to a space within 15 feet or 30 feet. The low gravity allows creatures to as high as their speed. They can land in a square of their choice. A distance equal to this speed. The modifiers from contamination level 1 apply. Additionally, low gravity. Okay. Level 3, complete astral contamination. No gravity. Behaves like the astral plane instead of normal. Creatures can move through space with their thoughts, no hunger, etc., etc. This room cannot be overpressurized. Cool. So now we have a knob. We can have rooms. We can say this room is contaminated level 1. So we can gradually introduce the idea of all of this to the players instead of just being like, here's a room, the next room, you're now in the astral plane. Surprise. We can make that a more gradual kind of thing that happens. Um. Okay. What can we do with this? I don't know. We can say that some rooms start at a. We can say most rooms start at a 0. Some rooms start at a 1. And as time passes, those 1s go up to 2s, and then adjacent rooms become 1s. So on and so forth. And also, I forgot to write. Astral creatures show up in here. Be present in this room. This could be the kind of thing that the party, if they need to, they can seal off. They can reestablish wards and reduce the contamination. Or they can break the wards and increase the contamination. Why would they do that? To solve this pressurization puzzle, of course. I don't know. Plus, maybe it's something I don't have a choice about. Like, to progress through the lower half of this prison, you have to go through the shaft. And if you go through the shaft, you are going to break something in the prison that automatically will start making contamination happen. And that's unavoidable. Like, but the alternative is to never progress. And, adventurers aren't going to do that. Maybe they can teleport past it. Maybe. I also wanted to have restraining bars. Most rooms in the prison are equipped with bars of iron in the ceiling. These bars do not these bars deploy as a form of limiting the limiting movement. Okay. The idea is that there are bars in the ceiling. When the alert is raised, the bars come down. They are not meant to capture anyone. They are meant to slow people down. And guards can hide behind them, and guards can shoot through the bars, and presumably prisoners don't have weapons of any kind, so it's kind of meant as a crowd control measure. The bars are meant as a crowd control measure that can be activated by any guard. The bars significantly do not capture, but will put obstacles in the way that guards can hide behind and shoot at intruders or escapees. Well, being being difficult to reach. Okay, each room independent set of bars. A guard can, if a room bars inside of it, a guard can call them down as a bonus action, causing them to fall down and lock into place. The bars are as tough as iron bars would normally be. Which, there are stats for that in the book, and I'm not going to look them up, and I bet in 90% of cases, it's not even going to matter. No one's going to attack the bars. There is a room in the prison that can be used to deactivate or activate the prison bars, the restraining bars. Room. Or all rooms. The guards prefer not to activate the restraining bars in all rooms because it inhibits their movement from room to room. Instead, guards prefer that only rooms with an active intruder presence have restraining bars in place. Now we have a room that we need to add to the prison, the restraining bars room. The prisoners, PCs, I should say, not prisoners. PCs can go in there. They can activate these bars all over the place, really gum up the efficiency of the guards being able to patrol. They can deactivate all the bars, which means that the guards can no longer summon them. If the bars are activated or deactivated, and guards cannot control them. And then we can also say a guard can call down the guard can also send the bars back as a bonus action. Cool. Okay. And then I wrote ghosts because I didn't have any idea. I have no inspiration for ghosts. I just wrote it. Maybe I shouldn't have written it. This palette is not very good. This is a bad example of a palette. In the past, I don't know if I've ever made a palette that I'm proud of, but this is a proper palette. The palette that I made today is not. This is more like a to-do list. Plus ghosts. I do want to cook up a few more room ideas or a few more mechanics that also invite, like, we need to add a room to this dungeon to make this mechanic work. So up here, I've written light-based conduits, and what we could do is we could have light-based conduits all throughout the dungeon, all throughout the prison, and they're made of unbreakable glass, so we can just say you can't break them. They're just there, but if you follow them, they eventually lead to a room, and that room lets you control. Maybe it doesn't let you control anything, but that room provides information. Okay. Every room in the prison has one or more glass conduits embedded in the ceiling. These conduits periodically flicker with light. These conduits are capable of sensing how many people are present in a room, the pressure state of the room, the astral contamination state of the room, and whether the bars have been deployed or not. Bars or guards. Hello. Hello, Greenway Guard. How's it going? The conduits can be traced throughout the dungeon back to a central room. This central room has several tableaus. Is that the word? Which collect tableaus, tubes. Several tubes which collect and display this data. Anyone in the central central tube room can learn this information. Can read this information in real time, learning the effective status of the prison. This room can be called the Know Things About the Prison Room. No, what's a better name for that? Called the Conduit Information Dump. Conduit Nexus. This has several glass orbs on a pedestal, which receive all of this data. Anyone who places their hand on a glass orb can read this information in real time, learning the effective status of the prison. Yeah. They additionally learn. They additionally learn of the existence of each room. That contains a conduit. Okay, just give them a map. Minus the secret rooms that don't have conduits. There might be multiple conduit nexi in the prison. Yeah. Let's just say that there might be multiple conduit nexi in the prison. They are not connected. So they're map rooms, basically. You go to this room, you go to this orb, you touch the orb, and you learn about every room that's connected to that orb. You learn all the stats. And then as soon as you take your hand off the orb, you're back to being in the dark. I don't know. It's a bit gamey of a room, but it's a room. It's a room. So I'm gonna write it down and move on. Can I make at least one more room? Book type batteries. It'd be nice to have a battery room. That's not a thing. That doesn't count as a room, but I'll write book battery room. That's just a library. This is where books are. Books are batteries in this prison. So this is kind of a battery room. Cool, great. That doesn't count. We also have vents. Unbreakable glass. What's a fun mechanic that we can have a room have? Light-based conduits, unbreakable glass, wards against dimensional instability, ghosts? Could ghosts be a key element? Maybe there are ghosts in the vents. I don't know how I would make that a mechanic. That sounds just like a fight. Maybe there are ghosts in the library writing books. There might be a ghost writing books in here. Their job is to eternally recharge the prison. They're okay with that. Okay. One more room. Come on. Perhaps this is a remnants of a collision between two demiplanes, one created by a wizard and one constructed by an ancient lost civilization. Okay. So maybe there's a part of this prison that's a remnant from the wizard's half of the demiplane. Like the library, that would be perfect for the library, but what about a magic circle that a protective magic circle that you can rest in. Time doesn't move outside of the prison while you're inside of the circle. Time circles. That's in several small rooms there are warding circles carved on the ground. These circles once served as safe points for a wizard's magical experimentation. Now they serve as leftover remnants. But are now leftover remnants. Anyone inside of a warding circle is protected from Discovery. These warding circles are safe. These warding circles magically protect anyone inside of them. Yo, hey Timothy, how's it going? Astral contamination cannot occur in rooms with warding circles. Guards do not investigate these rooms. They are safe for resting. If someone is inside of the circle, they can activate it, making it impossible for anyone else to enter or leave the circle. So if you're being chased by something, you can get in the circle, activate it, and they can't get you until you want to leave. Including by teleportation. People can figure out how to use a warding circle with a simple Arcana check. Cool. That legally counts as a room, even though it's not. I'm going to count it as one and say that I made that's enough. Don't need to overdo it. And I want to move on to traps. Currently playing through Unreal 1 on co-op difficulty. It's insane. Oh yeah. You're playing it solo? You can't play co-op difficulty for Unreal 1 on solo. Like it's actually not designed for that. Traps. Well, what are some traps? So previously, in some of these creatures, we listed that they rest on the walls and they are indestructible until activated. I mean, they're not indestructible, but they're destructible until activated. They have a defensive shelter, and they don't count as traps. We want traps. We want something designed to capture someone or knock them out or clear people out of a room. It's not designed for me. Let's put down, okay, 3 goals. Traps that capture someone, escapees, traps that, second thing I said, knock people out. Traps that clear out a room and might be lethal. So, traps are unlikely to be designed to work with astral contamination. So a room is trapped. There's some nasty stuff in there, but if you turn off the gravity, the trap doesn't work. I think that's cool. They're the best enemies. Oh, scars are literally the best enemies in any game ever. They know your next move before you make it. I've always thought that Half-Life 2 had the best FPS enemies in terms of like outmaneuvering you. They always are one step ahead. But I mean, they're pretty good too. No chance? I don't know. Let's go with the... Okay, so first trap. I'll go with a net launcher. Net spammer? This ceiling mounted trap is designed to overwhelm someone with so many nets that they are unable to do anything about it. It will, when it activates, it launches a net at the target nearest to it. The sand dance in Half-Life. The prison level is legendary. Oh yeah. I think that was Nova Prospect. Getting to control the sand dance was pretty wild. Each hit has the effect of a net. If a target, each additional net a target is hit with increases the escape DC net by 5. A net spammer, which sounds less like a trap and more like a cyberpunk program, or a slang for like a low-level hacker, has 16 nets by default loaded into it and a range of 30 feet. If nobody is within range when it activates, it will shoot a net at the floor below it. It will uselessly shoot. Okay. That's one trap. We've got traps that knock people out, and I feel like you know, the only thing that really comes to mind. Have you played Alex? Yeah, I have. I've beaten it. That's a good game too. I would love to stream that, but I have no idea how to make that watchable on stream. The only trap that comes to mind for traps that knock people out is like sleeping gas. I guess it could have like something that shoots stones, but that sounds pretty deadly. So let's just go with a sleeping gas sprayer, which I think might be a trap in the DMG. I actually might. Let me just. Are there traps in the basic rules? Collapsing roof, falling net, fire casting statue, hidden pit. Okay, there's no sleeping gas trap. I'm looking here. There's no sleeping gas trap in the basic rules, but We're gonna make one anyway. Yes, it's VR in it. I haven't had my mate found a non-VR version. Played about halfway through. Jeff the drinker, we love you. I haven't tried it non-VR. I assume it's pretty compared to it doesn't compare to Half-Life 2. I assume because Half-Life 2 is a lot more overwhelming, but the idea is that you're a lot more mobile in Half-Life 2, whereas in Half-Life Alyx, you can't move nearly as fast because if you did, you would vomit in real life, and Valve made sure explicitly to design Half-Life Alyx so that people don't vomit while playing their game. You don't understand. You need to play it in VR. Yeah. Some parts of that game, it's a fun game for sure, no matter what. But some parts of this game certainly work better in VR when you're in a big junkyard and there's dudes all around you. It's a lot more in VR because you can't just run up to people and start shooting them in the face because you probably can't run. Unless you're VRing in a warehouse. My VR space is tiny. I cannot run in my VR space if I don't want to hit the wall. First one I'm looking forward to is Alien Isolation. That game is terrifying. You know what? I think that's too much for me. Honestly, I tried Minecraft in VR and I was like, this is surprisingly scary because it doesn't really occur to you until you actually put the headset on, but a spider in Minecraft is twice the size of you. It is huge. It is as big as you are tall. And having that thing jump on your face, that's a nightmare. And that Minecraft is not a scary game at all. the zombies are creepy, creepers are creepy. It is not like a horror game, but it is when you put a VR headset on. and that's not counting Endermen. Endermen are bigger than you. They're bigger than you in the game, but it doesn't really occur to you that they're bigger than you until you are oh fuck. Yeah. Oh, and then you can't run. So, you can run. You have those controller options, but if you do that, if you run in the same way that you run it non-VR mode, you will vomit. I will vomit. Maybe you have an iron stomach, but I don't. I will vomit. Yeah. But shooting a bow is 1,000% more fun in VR. Unrelated to it being unrelating to terror in VR. I could not even imagine. Could not even imagine Alien Isolation in VR. Sleeping gas sprayer is going to be pretty simple. This is a pretty simple trap. You activate it. This trap activates and it sprays sleeping gas within a 15-foot cone. All creatures inside the cone must make a DC whatever check, con save, or be unconscious for the next hour. Got a gammy left eye, so I'm wondering, hope it'll be okay for me to use them. You can see out of it, just it's blurred, but my right eye is fine. I find that so if you're nearsighted, you don't need glasses at all because the actual image is actually right here. You'll find that your vision is a lot better with a headset on than in real life. If you're farsighted, yeah, you're kind of boned. Because the headset, the actual image is right in front of your face. So it is. It's one of those surprising things. You don't really think about it until you actually experience it. think we'll be all right. I need to find sample poisons. One of these puts people out. Is it drow poison? I'm pretty sure it's drow poison. Here it is. Loth sting. But that's an injury poison. Is there an inhaling poison? It's fine if there isn't. We can just make one. Yeah, I guess not. So be poisoned. While poisoned in this way, the creature is unconscious. For the next hour. A sleeping gas sprayer has enough gas for one activation. Then it needs to be refilled. Okay. We're working on. I am making traps for a magic prison. Traps that clear out a room. All right. This is the one where we're like, this room sets the room on, or this trap sets the room on fire. You should probably leave the room. I don't know. That's a bit extreme. But not far off the mark at the same time. Is a trap that you activate and force people to leave the room. Well, we already have a thing that does this, the overpressurization mechanic. So we can have a burst overpressurizer. This trap consists of a powerful magic pump attached to a tank, a tank of highly compressed air. When activated, it blasts the air into the room. Everyone within 30 feet must make a DC something con save. No, strength. Save or be knocked, shoved back to the edge of this effect. Additionally, the target takes 3d6 thunder damage from the pressure. If they take maximum damage, they are deafened until they long rest. Until the end of their next long rest. Cool. This could be lethal. This could kill someone from the pressure, but you know, that's not the goal. The goal is to just shove you back with raw air. Air blaster. What else? Okay, so couple of things. Oh, okay, fine. This trap has disadvantage in rooms with level 1 astral contamination and does not in rooms with 2 or 3 contamination. Sleeping gas, that's fine. That can just always work. Air blaster, this. Creatures. If the room is level 2 or 3 contamination, the radius is halved. The radius and damage are halved. So this works less in rooms that have been astrally contaminated. Can you receive links from YouTube? I don't think I haven't figured out how to turn off the filter for that, so I don't think I can. You'd have to post the non-link. And I don't know if that's a good idea either. Because the auto filter might pick up on what's going on. Type this into YouTube. Okay, it would be nice if I could put a space here. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Make that just a little bit more readable. Oh, the air blaster recharges in 1 minute. Oh, don't write that there, though. Though it does not charge if the room has level 2 or 3 contamination. Alexander Brandon shared dig. I'll listen to that. That sounds like that's the guy who did the Unreal soundtrack, right? Is that Alexander Brandon or is that someone else? Yes. Nice. Yeah, I like the Unreal soundtrack. I like Unreal Tournament soundtrack. I still listen to that from time to time. Can we do a few more of these traps? I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping to spend a lot more time making traps, but I'm already. Let me just go up here. Go up to my palette. Light-based conduits, unbreakable glass. Can we make a trap that uses a book battery? Actually, we can say this is powered by a book battery. Vents. Wards against dimensional instability. Would that be a trap, possibly? Maybe like a trap that intentionally brings on dimensional instability. No, that seems reckless. And I'm not sure what that accomplishes. Congratulations, you're now on the astral plane, thus solving the problem once and for all. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense. Light-based conduits. We could make the light-based conduits. We've already established that the Conduits can transfer knowledge if you touch them. Maybe they can take knowledge temporarily. No, that's a bit weird. Pressure rooms. Okay. Where's my other palette? Pressure room puzzles. Astral plane contaminant restraining bars. Restraining bar. Okay, is there something else we can do along the lines of restraining bars? Like, a trap that sprays oil all over the floor, making it really hard to move. I think that would count. I think we can make that. Oil dispenser. Before I keep going, let me just real quick, I'm just going to look through the traps in the free rules. Collapsing roof, deadly. This does 11 with 2d10 damage. Falling net. Okay, well, I already made this, but I made a way more hardcore one. Fire casting statue. That's not a bad idea. Just like something that guards doors. Like secured doors have statues by the doors, and the statues will spray fire at anyone who approaches them, unless they're deactivated. Hidden pit, no. Poison darts, no. Needle, rolling stone. That's a classic. We should go get a UT tournament on the go. That would be fun. Spiked pit, no. Okay, so I think fire casting statue has promise, and that's it. Oil sprayer. This shoot sprays oil all over the ground within a 30-foot radius when activated. Oil on the ground is quite slippery, and creatures that attempt to move more than half their movement speed must make a dexterity saving throw or immediately fall and lose all of their movement. I think the grease spell does that. I think the grease spell has better wording than whatever I'm coming up with right now. If you don't plan on attending QuakeCon this year. Oh, nice. Yeah, QuakeCon is sick. I like do they have is QuakeCon where they have like the they host like a tournament. They host like all the professional players and get them to play a tournament of a Quake. Or am I thinking of something else? Yep. I love watching professional Quake. It's insane. It makes no sense though. I mean, it makes perfect sense. When it's commentated and stuff, I can follow along. But if I'm just watching raw footage of a Quake game, I'm just like, yeah, this guy's going really fast. Oh, he's got a rocket launcher. They win now, right? Oh yeah, that's a kill. That's a kill. Oh, they just died. I don't know how they died. Okay, they're running in circles. They're running in circles. They're running in circles. Oh man, that's really upsetting this other guy who's really upset. Yeah, and then the commentator's like, "Oh yeah, he's warding off the mega health on this map, and like, oh, he's shooting rockets down this corridor, and that's really frustrating because if the other guy had the speed that they needed to pass by, they'd be dead instantly. But they they had to stop, and it's like, oh, okay, this is amazing. This is a great game. Thank God for commentators. Has some extreme rail skills. Wait, which Quake are you talking about? I was talking about the original Quake. Whoops. Right, there's more than one Quake. I forgot. Quake is like 95% rocket launcher, though. Well, I shouldn't say 95%. It's 80% shooting rockets down a corridor just to threaten the opponent so that they can't get the mega health. Completed Dimension of the Machine on Nightmare. Oh, wow. That's a pretty good accomplishment. Quake tattoo on his heart. Let me find the grease. Picking up. Each creature standing in this area must see dexterity. Okay. Mine is way better, actually. I mean, it's not way better, but I'm just gonna stick with what I have written. Gear's achievement is taking 3 fiends with just an axe on Nightmare. You need to herd them. I don't know how you take anything on with an axe. Isn't the axe like... Isn't it a meme? I can't even... It's like the chainsaw in Doom. It's like you pick it up for the sound effect, not for its effectiveness. I'm not sure the chainsaw can kill anything. Quaker Oats. Not sure. Oil sprayer. Creatures have advantage on this save if the room has level 1 or 2 astral contamination. Okay, and then this oil sprayer, there was one more thing that I was gonna write down. Oh, the fire statues. Guardian statues. Secure rooms. The entrance to secure rooms. I'll have to educate you. When activated, they spray fire in a jet in front of them, warding off creatures that try to enter or try to pass them. Okay, when activated, smoke billows from their mouths and they spray fire in a jet in front of them whenever anyone gets within 10 feet. Fire deals 3d6 damage. Dex save half. Something like that. That is a trap. They do not discriminate against targets. And can spray and can the jet of fire lasts for 1 round. After which the statue must be recharged. Cool. Didn't only break it, but it impartialized his record. He's insane. Check this out. Type this into C's run. It's beyond epic. After 23 years, this run. That sounds familiar. I might have seen that. Is that a speed run for Quake 1? Because didn't they just like improve the time for episode? I can't remember the episode. It's like the first level in one of the episodes. They got it down from like 8 seconds to 6 seconds. 7 seconds? 6 seconds might have. No, it might be 6 seconds. I can't remember. Yeah, it's a wild improvement for a map to beat it in 6 seconds. I think 5 traps is good, and we've got 5 elements, pressure rooms, astral plane, restraining bars, conduit nexi, warding circles. Yeah, so I got 10 things. I did not have anything off the top of my head planned for brainstorming. Quick speedruns explained. Yeah, I've seen that channel. It's good stuff. It's wild how much work goes into improving a quick speedrun at this point, because it's like, yeah, that game is old, and you think it'd be solved at this point, but absolutely not. I had what is this? What other elements do you need to make a dungeon? You need characters, of course. I don't really feel like making characters right now. That is, in fact, maybe something that is not for me to brainstorm. But this prison needs an exit. This prison needs an exit. Exit to this prison. Hey Tim, hey Art. Hey Minty. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? Doing fan-dated grenade jumps. The physics of it is mad. Me and my bro always did Q2 DM1 first to 50. Quick DM. Good times. Used to be 49 sweating man. That's really good. That's really good. That's not. I haven't played Quake in forever. So I shouldn't really say, but I remember like playing Half-Life deathmatch. Usually one person runs away with it, and that person is the person who gets the rocket launcher, or no, not the rocket launcher, the Tau cannon. But the rocket launcher is also a good runaway weapon. Once you get that, you start flying around like a madman at 9,000 miles per hour, and you look at people and they instantly melt, and then your score just multiplies. Nuke map. It's just deathmatch is deathmatch. Guess it up. So this prison needs an exit, and it's on a demiplane. There's probably 2 exits to this prison, because this is 2 demiplanes that have collided. There are actually 2 exits to this prison. Both of them lead back to the material plane. The first one is heavily guarded, warded, and inaccessible unless the pressure levels of the prison are set to the correct level. I shouldn't say it's heavily guarded, but it is guarded. Additionally, there is a second but that exit is nominally only accessible by the wizard who created the original demiplane. And they are... and who knows where they are. The exit can be forcibly opened if the demiplane is sufficiently eroded by astral contamination. At which point demiplane will collapse, but the exit will open for a short while before that happens. The party can also exit via astral plane, but but the astral plane is a big emptiness, and that doesn't result in a success end for the party. Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago? And now he's a highly trained professional. Someone's hidden my glasses again. You're making me interested in playing those first-person shooter multiplayer games. That's a very... yeah. That is the conversation. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I kind of wonder how, like, Half-Life Alyx deathmatch would work. Is that even a thing? I kind of want to look that up now. It's definitely not the same energy, though. You can't bunny hop, bounce around, shoot the Tau cannon, shoot the rocket launcher, railgun people while spinning around like a madman, guarding the mega health. That game doesn't even have a rocket launcher. Or does it? That's a grenade launcher, I think. That almost counts. So this first exit, whatever. It's an obvious exit. This is an obvious exit, and it is the traditional way that prisoners enter and leave the prison. It is always open. The portal, the exit portal is always open. Cool, I wrote always open twice. Great. It will take several Arcana checks to figure this out, or this information is available in the prison library. Keep meaning to get an Arma 3. It's just one of those games that take up your entire life to play. I am not an Arma person. I played Arma 2, but I picked it up for DayZ, and it was too much, too realistic for me. I like not having to manage every bullet in every magazine. And I'm pretty sure Arma has like 1,000,000 billion different buttons for like scream quietly, crouch, duck crouch, go prone but better, and like, I don't know. It's meant to be very realistic, so good. They did a good job there. I miss Battlefield 2. Had some good times with that. Some awesome dogfights. Yeah. You need like 10 keyboards. Game that I used to play a lot was Natural Selection. That was my jam. Played a lot of that. It's still around. It's not hasn't gone anywhere, but it's just not the same. None of those games are the same. They were different back in the day, and now they are I don't know what the word is. They're different. Did you ever partake in the Prey games? Which Prey games? Talking about like the most recent Prey? If you ever stream those first-person shooter games, I'll join. Okay. The only Prey game that I took part in is the most recent one, the 2017 Prey. The one that's basically a sequel of BioShock, of System Shock. The first one? No, I never played the first Prey. I watched someone play it, but I did not play it. I don't know what else to say about this exit. That's just an exit. There's also exit via astral plane, but the astral plane is pointless. One time I had one of the largest communities ever, 100 players a game. First of its kind in that way. Talking about Battlefield? Or Prey? Because the first large scale FPS that I know of is PlanetSide. I did not know Prey was one of those. The only thing I know about Prey is there's a lot of aliens and spirit animals and shooting. I mean, it's a shooter, so I'll check it out. Haven't heard of that. Like, PlanetSide is very dead, but PlanetSide 2 is alive. I think it's still thriving. I shouldn't say thriving. I think it's still alive, and like you can play it and it's fine. Like it has like 5,000 people playing it. PlanetSide 2 is just better. It's just a better. I don't know who wants to go back to PlanetSide, if anyone, versus PlanetSide 2. But it's like a it might be a nostalgia thing too. I don't know. It is free to play, so you can try it, but you may not appreciate the free to play part. It's free to try, and then to play. Yeah. I don't know. I'm out of ideas for this. Yeah, I'm just out. I'm just out of ideas. So I think this is my next time I should plan. I'm going to be making more of this stuff. Probably going to be making characters. I wanted to put that off till next time, but I should have more things planned because I need to brew more, and I thought that making traps and making dungeon elements would take longer, but it's only been 90 minutes. And I don't really want to make like 30 things because this is not going to be a mega dungeon. There's only so much room. And if I invent 30 traps, like, they're not all going to get used. Most of them are not going to get used. Let's play some Quake. Oh, I've got to go eat. I got to run. That is, it is my dinner time. Enjoy night. Yeah, thanks, you too. I'm going to call it here. Well, thanks for hanging out. Hope you're having a good time. Have fun. See you next time. Alrighty. Bye, y'all. May the giblets be with you and also with you.